Hey, Bobby Manning here. Welcome to the Garden Reporter Practice Edition at Auerbach Center. Less than 24 hours after the Celtics lost to the Sixers in Game 1, a defensive debacle where they gave up 119 points, squandered a 4-point lead late, and allowed 45 to James Harden, who drew some double teams in this game. Interestingly enough, Malcolm Brogdon talked last night about Boston doubling Harden too much. A look back didn't reveal many double teams. Two costly ones, Joe Mazzulla said today, gave up 6 points to Harden, and that's where you second guess maybe and don't go to those looks late, trying to take away and hedge away from other guys and make life more difficult on Harden. That's what Mazzulla said the Celtics learned most from Game 1, was where they can find spots to help off of others.
CLNS Media's Celtics coverage is brought to you by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network.
You definitely saw, I think, the Celtics in a feeling out mode yesterday in this series. Was that lack of preparedness or getting caught off guard by Joel Embiid, those different narratives we kicked around last night? Who knows? The clear emphasis from Mazzulla today, though, not defense, when asked about giving up mid-range shots and living with certain things, turn the conversation back to offense here today. Here's what he had to say in reaction to a defense question.
It's two things, right? It's one, it's how long can you be comfortable with saying that's going to be what we're going to live with. And we talked about the 2 times we doubled Harden, they got 6 points on. So if they don't get those 6 points, maybe you do it a little bit later in the game. So hindsight's always 20/20. The second piece of that is our strength is our offensive management. And so when you have 20 points off turnovers, when you have 10 live ball turnovers, when you get outshot by 12 at the 3-point line, and then you get outshot by 11 in general, it really doesn't matter what coverage you play. It's a variation game at that point. And so for this team, they've been built on defense for a very, very long time. They have the DNA of that, and they're always going to play hard. But we manage the game best with our offensive decision making, and we just have to continue to do that.
Now, this brings me back to a training camp question I had to Joe about the defense, where he said, we're going to manage this team on the offensive side of the ball. We're emphasizing offense in camp. Offense is where we need to improve off of last year. Once again, similar sentiment there. We need to manage that lead late with offense. Turnovers, spacing, things like that, he thought faltered and led to the Celtics losing this game. Hard to disagree with that, as frustrating as it can be to hear after a defensive performance like that. The worry, though, is that the Celtics aren't grasping these things consistently, especially in crunch time. Mazzulla put the loss on himself for not being able to get the Celtics into their sets, into their spacing. So why does that happen consistently in these spots? That's where I look to the coaching. Because again, I'm not going after Mazzulla right now. This team lapsed again in ways we've seen under Brad Stevens, Ime Udoka, and last postseason. The scheme, listen, I had some gripes with it. Overall, I think they did what they needed to do on that in terms of mixing up looks and throwing variations at Harden. Could they have doubled more? It's tough to say when Brogdon's saying that they should have doubled Harden less. So that's what I'm getting at. Disconnectedness between the Celtics right now, evident. Does that continue? Or do they get right back to these philosophies Mazzulla emphasized all year? That's going to be the question here as we go into Game 2. And of course, we will have coverage of Game 2 on Celtics All Access and CLNS Media. For now, from practice, I'm Bobby Manning. Check out all the practice sound at CLNS Media, and Josue Pavone from Sixers practice today. He'll have some sound from over there as well up on CLNS Media.
The Garden Report is brought to you by BetterHelp. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/garden today to get 10% off your first month. This edition of the Garden Report is also brought to you by Athletic Greens. Visit athleticgreens.com/garden for a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase.